We've always been told that nuts are a cornerstone of a healthy diet, a perfect snack packed with good fats, protein, and fiber. For years, we've sprinkled them on our yogurt, grabbed a handful on the go, and felt good about it. They seem like such a natural, wholesome choice, don't they? But what if I told you that some of the most popular nuts you might be eating regularly could actually be working against your health? Especially as we navigate our wonderful years over 60. It sounds surprising, perhaps even a little worrying, because these nuts are everywhere. They are in our trail mixes, our baked goods, even labeled as heart healthy in many cases. Yet, for some of us, these seemingly innocent snacks might be contributing to inflammation, digestive upset, or even interfering with nutrient absorption without us even realizing it. It's a hidden reality, a silent sabotage for some bodies that are simply changing with age and becoming more sensitive to certain compounds. Understanding this isn't about eliminating all nuts from your life. Absolutely not. It's about becoming informed, about making smarter choices that truly support your vitality and well-being in this phase of life. It's about identifying the potential pitfalls lurking in some common culprits and knowing what incredible alternatives are out there that offer all the goodness without the downsides. In this video, we're going to shine a light on 3 specific popular nuts you might want to reconsider eating regularly. And we'll explore why they might not be serving you as well as you thought. We'll also talk about the delicious and truly beneficial nuts and seeds you should be embracing instead. Stick with me to the very end, because there comes sin por isso Dior. There's something important we'll discuss that might completely change how you think about your daily snack. So, let's dive right in and talk about the first nut on our list that you might want to approach with a bit more caution as you get older. This is a nut that's probably been in your pantry for years, maybe since childhood. It's incredibly common, widely available, and often promoted as a healthy snack or ingredient. I'm talking about peanuts. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Peanuts, but they're full of protein and fiber. And yes, that's true. They do offer those things. But for individuals over 60, there are a few nuanced reasons why peanuts might not be the health powerhouse they appear to be, and why being mindful of your consumption is a good idea. One significant concern with peanuts is the potential for contamination with something called aflatoxins. Aflatoxins are toxic compounds produced by certain types of molds, specifically Aspergillus species, which can grow on peanuts, corn, and other crops, particularly under warm, humid conditions. Now, food regulations in many countries aim to limit exposure, but these molds can still be a risk, especially with peanuts that haven't been stored perfectly or come from regions with less stringent controls. Why is this more of a concern as we age? Well, our body's detoxification systems can become a little less efficient over time. The liver, which is key to processing and eliminating toxins like aflatoxins, may not work with the same youthful vigor it once did. Chronic, low-level exposure to aflatoxins is linked to liver damage and even an increased risk of liver cancer over the long term. While eating a few peanuts occasionally might not be a big deal, a daily habit, especially with products like peanut butter, which can concentrate ingredients, could potentially contribute to a toxic load that an aging body finds harder to handle. It's not about causing acute poisoning, but about the cumulative effect over years. Think of it like tiny little stressors on your system day after day. Another area where peanuts fall short compared to some other nuts, particularly relevant for managing inflammation, which is a common challenge as we age, is their fatty acid profile. Peanuts are quite high in omega-6 fatty acids. Now, we do need omega-6 fats in our diet. They are essential. The problem arises when the balance between omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acids is skewed heavily towards omega-6, which is very common in Western diets. An imbalanced ratio, with too much omega-6 and not enough omega-3, can promote inflammation in the body. Chronic inflammation is a key driver behind many age-related conditions, including heart disease, arthritis, type 2 diabetes, and cognitive decline. While peanuts do contain some healthier monounsaturated fats, their relatively high omega-6 content means that relying on them as a primary nut source could inadvertently contribute to this inflammatory imbalance. Compare this to nuts like walnuts, which are notably higher in omega-3s, helping to counteract inflammation. Swapping out some of your peanut intake for nuts with a better omega profile can be a simple yet effective strategy to help keep inflammation in check. Beyond the microscopic concerns like aflatoxins and fatty acid ratios, peanuts can also pose more immediate issues for some older adults, particularly related to digestion. While they are a good source of fiber, the type of fiber and the overall composition of peanuts can be difficult for some aging digestive systems to break down. This can lead to uncomfortable symptoms like bloating, gas, and general digestive distress, as digestive efficiency can naturally decrease with age. Foods that are harder to process can become problematic. Furthermore, commercial peanut products often come with added ingredients that definitely don't do your health any favors. Many popular peanut butters contain added sugars, unhealthy hydrogenated oils to improve texture and shelf life, and excessive amounts of salt. These additions contribute to sugar spikes, unhealthy fat intake, and increased blood pressure, all things we are often trying to manage or prevent as we get older. Opting for natural peanut butter made only from peanuts, and maybe a touch of salt is better. But you still have the underlying issues of aflatoxins and omega-6 balance to consider with regular consumption. The processing itself can also degrade some of the beneficial compounds and make the fats more prone to oxidation. So, what does this mean for you? It doesn't mean you can never enjoy a peanut again. But if peanuts or peanut butter are a daily staple for you, it might be worth considering rotating them out more often or reducing your portion sizes significantly. Think about where your peanuts come from and how they've been stored. Fresh, properly stored peanuts from reputable sources are less likely to have high levels of aflatoxins. But perhaps the best approach is to explore other nut and seed options that offer similar benefits without these particular potential drawbacks. Nuts, like walnuts, pecans, and almonds with a few considerations will get to offer healthy fats, protein, and fiber. Seeds, like pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, and chia seeds are also nutritional powerhouses that can be great alternatives for snacking or adding to meals. By diversifying your intake and leaning more on nuts and seeds with better omega-3 profiles and fewer toxin concerns, you can maximize the nutritional benefits while minimizing the potential risks. Shifting away from peanuts regularly might be a subtle change, but it's one that could quietly support your body's fight against inflammation and its detoxification processes over time. Now that we've talked about peanuts and why they might be one to watch, let's move on to our second common nut. Moving on to our second nut, another very popular one that often fills up bowls at parties, gets added to salads, and is a common ingredient in many snack bars and recipes. This nut is often praised for its heart-healthy fats and nutritional profile. I'm talking about almonds. Now, almonds are undoubtedly packed with nutrients, vitamin E, magnesium, fiber, and those monounsaturated fats are indeed good for your heart and overall health. However, like peanuts, almonds have certain characteristics that can make them less ideal for regular, heavy consumption for some people, particularly as we age. One major point to consider with almonds is their relatively high content of phytic acid. Phytic acid, or phytate, is a naturally occurring compound found in many plants, including nuts, seeds, and grains. It's often referred to as an anti-nutrient because it can bind to essential minerals in the digestive tract. Minerals like calcium, magnesium, zinc, and iron, making it harder for your body to absorb them. As we get older, maintaining adequate levels of these minerals becomes increasingly important for bone health. Calcium, magnesium, immune function and taste zinc, energy levels iron, and countless other bodily processes. If you're eating large quantities of almonds regularly, especially as a primary snack between meals, the phytic acid could potentially interfere with your absorption of these vital nutrients from your overall diet. It's not that almonds block 100% of mineral absorption, but they can reduce it. And for someone already on the cusp of certain mineral deficiencies or with digestive issues that affect absorption, this effect can be more significant. Another compound found in higher levels in almonds that can be problematic for some individuals, especially in larger quantities, is oxalates. Oxalates are natural substances found in many foods, including spinach, rhubarb, and yes, almonds. For most people, Oxalates are harmlessly processed and excreted. However, for individuals prone to kidney stones, which are often composed of calcium oxalate, high oxalate intake can be a major concern, as kidney function can sometimes decline with age. The body's ability to handle oxalates might also be reduced for some, even if you're not prone to kidney stones. High oxalate consumption has been anecdotally linked by some to increased inflammation or joint pain in sensitive individuals. Though research in this area is still developing, if you suffer from unexplained aches or have a history of kidney stones, paying attention to high oxalate foods like almonds might be a worthwhile consideration. Furthermore, while almonds offer healthy fats, they are also quite calorie-dense. Mindless snacking on large bags of almonds can easily lead to consuming excess calories, which isn't helpful for weight management. Another common challenge as we age, the texture of almonds, especially when dry roasted, can also be quite hard, potentially posing issues for dental health or simply being difficult to chew thoroughly for some, which can also impact digestion. So, how can you navigate the world of almonds if you enjoy them? The good news is that traditional preparation methods can significantly reduce the phytic acid content. Soaking almonds overnight, sprouting them, or even blanching and removing the skin can help break down some of the phytic acid. However, most people eat raw or roasted almonds straight from the bag, which doesn't reduce the phytate levels much. Moderation is also key. A small handful, say, an ounce as part of a balanced diet, is very different from eating several ounces throughout the day. If you are concerned about mineral absorption or oxalates, you might want to reserve almonds for occasional treats rather than daily staples. Or commit to soaking them before consumption. This brings us to our third popular nut to be mindful of, and this one is often loved for its creamy texture, making it a favorite ingredient in vegan cheeses, sauces, and desserts, as well as a popular snack. I'm talking about cashews, like almonds. Cashews contain healthy fats and some beneficial minerals. However, they share some of the potential drawbacks we just discussed. Cashews are also relatively high in oxalates, making them another nut that individuals prone to kidney stones or with oxalate sensitivity might want to limit. And similar to almonds, cashews contain phytic acid, which can interfere with mineral absorption, particularly zinc, while they contain some zinc themselves. The phytic acid can make it less bioavailable. Interestingly, cashews are also quite high in copper, which is essential. But consuming very high amounts of copper relative to zinc over time could potentially affect the body's zinc status. And zinc is crucial for immune function, wound healing, and even taste perception, all of which are vital concerns as we age. Beyond the phytic acid and oxalate content, how cashews are typically consumed also adds another layer of concern. More often than not, you find cashews sold roasted and heavily salted. The high sodium content in salted cashews can contribute to elevated blood pressure, a major risk factor for heart attack and stroke, which is something many older adults are actively trying to manage. Even unsalted roasted cashews might be roasted in unhealthy oils. Choosing raw, unsalted cashews is definitely a better option, but you still have the issues of oxalates and phytic acid to consider, especially if you eat them in large quantities, because they are so delicious and easy to snack on. It's very easy to overconsume cashews, leading to higher intake of these potentially problematic compounds and excessive calories. Think about how quickly you can go through a bowl of roasted cashews compared to, say, cracking open walnuts. So, for both almonds and cashews, the takeaway isn't necessarily to eliminate them entirely, but to be aware of their potential downsides, especially if consumed in large quantities regularly without proper preparation like soaking. Consider your individual health profile. Are you prone to kidney stones? Do you have issues with mineral deficiencies? Do you struggle with inflammation or digestive discomfort if so? These nuts, particularly peanuts, almonds, and cashews, might be contributing more than you realize. This doesn't mean you have to give up all nuts. Far from it. This is where the really good news comes in. There are so many other fantastic nuts and seeds out there that offer immense nutritional benefits with fewer of these specific concerns. And incorporating more of them can truly boost your health as you age. Next, we'll talk about embracing those healthier alternatives and putting this knowledge into practice. So, we've talked about 3 very popular nuts: peanuts, almonds, and cashews, and why you might want to be more mindful of how much and how often you eat them, especially as you get older. We discussed the potential for aflatoxins in peanuts, the unfavorable omega-6 to omega-3 ratio in peanuts that can contribute to inflammation, and digestive difficulties they can cause. We looked at almonds and cashews and their higher levels of phytic acid, which can hinder the absorption of important minerals like calcium, magnesium, and zinc, vital for bone health and immunity, and their oxalate content, which can be a concern for those prone to kidney stones. It might feel a little overwhelming to hear that some of your go-to snacks might not be the best choices. But please don't feel discouraged. This isn't about restriction. It's about empowering you to make informed decisions that truly nourish your body and support your vitality. It's about shifting your focus from nuts that might cause problems to the incredible world of nuts and seeds that are unequivocally fantastic for you. The real secret. The pleasant surprise I hinted at earlier is how many truly beneficial and delicious alternatives there are, and how powerful it can be to swap out those potentially problematic nuts for ones that actively fight inflammation, boost brain health, support your bones, and provide those hard-to-get nutrients. Think about the mighty walnut, often lauded for its brain-like shape and fittingly, its incredible benefits for cognitive health. Walnuts are one of the best plant-based sources of omega-3 fatty acids, specifically ALA. Remember how we talked about the inflammatory effects of too much omega-6 from peanuts? Well, walnuts help balance that out. Including walnuts regularly can help reduce systemic inflammation, which is key to preventing and managing so many age-related conditions. They are also packed with antioxidants. Adding a small handful of walnuts to your daily routine, perhaps on your morning oatmeal, sprinkled on a salad, or just as a snack, is a fantastic way to give your brain and body a powerful anti-inflammatory boost. Then, there are pecans, often seen as a pie ingredient. Pecans are nutritional powerhouses in their own right. They are rich in antioxidants, fiber, and healthy fats. They are lower in phytic acid and oxalates compared to almonds and cashews, making them a gentler option for many. Pecans also contain beneficial plant sterols that can help lower cholesterol. Swapping out a handful of cashews for a handful of pecans can provide similar satisfying crunch and flavor with potentially fewer digestive or mineral absorption issues. And let's not forget Brazil nuts, famous for being an exceptional source of selenium. Selenium is a trace mineral crucial for thyroid function, immune health, and it acts as a powerful antioxidant. Just 1 or 2 Brazil nuts a day can provide your full recommended daily intake of selenium. Just be mindful not to eat too many, as you can get too much selenium. But rotating them in a few times a week is an excellent strategy for boosting this important mineral. Other fantastic nuts and seeds to embrace include pistachios in moderation, unsalted, and ideally in the shell to slow down consumption. Macadamia nuts high in monounsaturated fats, and various seeds like pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds. Pumpkin seeds are a great source of zinc and magnesium, both minerals that can be harder to absorb from nuts high in phytic acid. Sunflower seeds provide vitamin E and healthy fats. Chia seeds and flax seeds are tiny powerhouses of omega-3s and fiber, wonderful added to smoothies or yogurt. The key message here isn't fear, it's freedom. Freedom to choose nuts and seeds that truly uplift your health goals. It's about embracing variety. Instead of a big bag of just one type of nut, create a custom trail mix with walnuts, pecans, Brazil nuts, pumpkin seeds, and perhaps a few lower oxalate nuts like macadamias. Choose raw or dry roasted, unsalted options whenever possible. Pay attention to how your body feels after eating different nuts. If a certain type consistently leaves you feeling bloated or causes discomfort, that's your body giving you a clear signal. Listen to it. Store your nuts properly in airtight containers, ideally in the refrigerator or freezer, to prevent them from going rancid and losing their nutritional value or developing toxins. Remember, small, consistent changes really do add up to make a big difference in your health and how you feel day to day. Shifting your nut consumption away from those 3 popular types that can pose specific challenges as we age, towards a broader array of incredibly beneficial nuts and seeds, is one of those simple yet powerful changes you can make. It's about nourishing your body with the best nature has to offer, informs that your body can easily use. By making these informed choices, you're not just avoiding potential problems, you're actively investing in stronger bones, a sharper mind, better digestion, and a more vibrant, energetic life. Taking proactive steps like this is one of the greatest acts of self-care and self-respect you can undertake in your senior years. I hope this has given you some valuable insights and practical ideas for your healthy snacking. Are any of these nuts ones you eat often? Did you have any idea about these potential issues? What are your favorite healthy nuts and seeds? I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your insights could help others in our wonderful community. If you found this information helpful and empowering, please give this video a thumbs up. It helps YouTube know that this content is valuable and allows us to reach and help more people like you who are committed to living their best life. And please, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and have clicked that notification bell so you don't miss out on our future videos packed with practical tips and encouragement for thriving in your golden years. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Remember, you have the power to make choices that profoundly impact your health and happiness. Keep learning, keep exploring, and keep taking wonderful care of yourself. Live your best life at every age.